Good evening, Postal family. What's going on? My name is Saeed. Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing this Sunday evening? Oh, we got us a long weekend. Everybody's off tomorrow, and hope you all enjoying your time, extra time with the family. I know I am. So we get a little bit extra day. But Tuesday is gonna be again any day after a holiday is gonna be miserable. One of those heavy days, but we hard workers, we get through it together. So no issue, but it is tough though, no doubt about that. Today's video, I'm just going over, I found something about the rank and file committee, something they put together, and it's very it's very informative. So just want to go over that, what they're doing with the USPS, the trying to get ready to do. So other than that, Renfro is same old, continuing the fight like hell campaign he started. No exact details about what he's discussing again in the contract room. Nothing specific. It's just he keeps talking about everything but that. He knows that that's the most important part. He doesn't get to it. So God help us in all the negotiations. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what he put on the table, what was rejected, what he's putting now, what will happen. But all of us just concerned about, let's get to arbitration and let Mr. Nolan handle it from there. So that gives us a better chance. But that's where we're at with him. So first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Saeed. Everything about postal content is what I like to do. If you're into postal, you want to find out what's going on, I would appreciate it if you join my channel. I thank and appreciate all my supporters very dearly. All the messages, comments, they're unbelievable, awesome. All that information you guys pass on to me, I can't thank you guys enough. And the more I read those comments, I love them even more. I see what you guys are thinking about out there. Thanks so much for the wonderful comments saying that people, carriers do really appreciate me. That really means a lot to me. Gives me the energy to do this even better. So thanks so much for those personal comments. I really appreciate everybody. Keep giving the channel the thumbs up. Really helps out the algorithm of this monster YouTube. So anyways, let's get to today's topic about the rank and file. After the NALC contract rejection, organized the working class to save the U.S. Postal Service. Join the fight for rank and file control. Join the USPS Workers Rank and File Committee. The USPS Workers Rank and File Committee hails the rejection by our brothers and sisters of the tentative agreement for city letter carriers for only the second time in 55 years. Letter carriers have taken a stand not just against poverty wages, but against the conspiracy to privatize USPS and eliminate tens of thousands of jobs under the so-called Delivering for America program. But the fight is not over. It's only just the beginning. We have to prepare ourselves to fight against the entire anti-worker labor laws framework, which will now be brought to bear to strip us of our rights. USPS and NALC have until February 18 to come up with a new proposal to put to vote. So today is the 16th. Probably Tuesday is it. Tuesday is the 18th. If nothing is put on the table, then on to arbitration. About time. Get to it. Get it done. The next step in the process is binding arbitration. This means the USPS administrators and the bureaucrats from the National Association of Letter Carriers will use a neutral arbitrator to impose the contract we have just rejected, with some cosmetic changes at most. The NALC bureaucracy, including President Brian Renfro, will say that we can do nothing because of a ban on strikes by federal workers. They are passively accepting this flagrant denial of our rights under the First Amendment. In so doing, they expose themselves as stooges of USPS administrators and corporate politicians. Postal workers never rejected the strike weapon and used it in the 1970 and 1978. Provisions for strike action are still in the NALC Constitution, which the bureaucrats conveniently ignore. These are true facts. I mean, it's still there. If this rent fraud gets to it, if we have to turn to it to ask for decent wages, but he doesn't have the fight for all that. Like, sort of fight for help, but he doesn't have the fight. The worst thing we can do is to wait for the next contract and new union elections to fight. If they get away with this, it will be the last contract with USPS as a public entity. As for union elections, experience proves no amount of pressure or musical chairs at the top will change their nature as a pro-management sellouts. At UPS, yesterday, so-called reformers and the Teamsters are helping carry out massive automation-driven cuts while placing the resources of the union at the disposal of the right-wing Trump administration. We must act now to fight back. The first step is for us to adopt the principle that this entire process has no legitimacy. We must organize, appeal for as wide support as possible in the working class. We must build up a network of rank-and-file committees at post offices around the country. These organs open to all USPS workers, but strictly excluding management or union officials will give us the power to enforce our democratic decisions. Countermand violations of our rights and transfer power to the rank and file. In asserting our independence, we will put ourselves in the best possible position to face down the attacks that are coming. Some really good stuff in this. We must also draw the lessons of our struggles against sellout contracts. This especially includes the 2022 railroad contract, where workers faced off against anti-strike laws, both parties, and sham mediation. In addition to real wages, which were far exceed inflation, we must fight against the elimination of routes and the closure of facilities. The tier REAP electronic monitoring system, which was imposed on us through a memorandum of understanding lack of safety provisions in the heat and cold, and of the abuse of CCAs, and above all, save USPS as a public service and not a profit-making enterprise. We propose our co-workers take up the following demands as red lines for any future contract: the end of delivering for America and guarantees of USPS future as government agency. All delivery routes and local post offices shuttered as part of DFA over the last few years must be reopened. The end of tier REAP and other monitoring systems. Inflation-busting raises, educate cost of living adjustments, and full funding for healthcare and pensions. The hiring of all CCAs to full-time status with full-time pay. But much more is at stake than the contracts for NALC, or for that matter, the rural carriers in the National Rural Letter Carriers Association and the clerks in the American Postal Workers Union. The Trump admin is on the rampage against the working class, with federal workers and immigrants being targeted first, violating the Constitution and decades of law whenever it suits his purpose. Trump plans to destroy every government program not directly related to war, policing working class neighborhoods, or funneling money to Wall Street. Trump officials have already confirmed to the Washington Post that he intends to privatize USPS. Whatever has not been dismantled of the postal network will be handed over to oligarchs like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, where workers will be squeezed to the limit to make profits for Wall Street. Trump's attack on immigrant workers are part of a systematic violation of the rights of the whole working class. So, critically, we must appeal for support from postal workers around the world. Last year, Canada post workers carried out a nationwide strike, which was ultimately shut down by federal government. At Royal Mail in Britain, workers are fighting against corporate takeover by billionaire Daniel Krensky. In these and other countries, workers have formed ranked and file committees to oppose both management and union sellouts. They are affiliated with us through the International Workers Alliance of Rank and File Committees. So that's a very good article about the rank and file, what we need to do, get together and shut these plans down that are about to happen. But at this point, we really don't know what Trump is going to do. He's told about privatization, but that's a whole different ball game. So we'll see what happens. But first, the major concern is the contract, obviously. So he's got 2 more days left till the 18th, and I don't think anything has been accomplished these last couple of weeks. I mean, he was at the New York station where that brother of ours, Carrier, lost his life in that Delhi. He was speaking outside that station. I had shared that video before this, so hope all of y'all had a chance to see what he talks about. He's, of course, becoming a Mr. Very Good, fight for us suddenly, fight like hell is his motto. I don't know what will... obviously, his job is on the line, so suddenly he has this fight in him for us. So all these little events going on. At these events, I don't notice no carriers, but he mentioned there's some carriers standing there, but I don't think there's no carriers there. We don't... That's all a big lie. These are all just his people. It's a small network. People show up at his little rallies because carriers were there. That you would hear some kind of booing going on. They would know that the carriers are there. So that's right now what's going on. Just thought I shared this article about rank and file committees and what they're about, what they're trying to do. Very intriguing information there, and that's where we're at as far as what the process is going on. So, like I said, 18th is the last day. Then we'll find out later this week if they settle for a new contract, which I doubt, highly unlikely. They'll send out a new contract and all that balloting again. They'll just take it to arbitration, and we'll have our day with the arbitrator. Praying for a good result this time around. Of course, we all are, but we'll wait and see what happens. So that's it. That's today's video. Hope everybody enjoys a day off tomorrow too. And Tuesday will be another busy day after a holiday, obviously. But we'll get through it. We always do. Proud to be along these my powerful carriers out there. Much appreciate all the support again. I can't thank you guys enough. So... Until next time, this is it. And stay good out there, stay positive, and most of all, stay safe out there. Saeed out. Have a good one, guys.